What's up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and I'm back with another review. This time we're looking at the Battle Armor Lost Predator. This was one of the Predators, I think from everything I've read, this is one of the Predators that was featured in Predator 2 at the very end. I just picked this figure because the design work is super unique, super intricate, and he had a sword. I mean, that's how simple it is for me. He had a sword. And I was just like, man, this is fucking ridiculously dope. I have to own this figure. So this isn't going to be like my usual ones. I'm just going to kind of overview over these figures because there's so many of them and they're the same in build, but they're always different in gear. One look at this guy's helmet and you're just like, damn. When I first saw him, I actually thought he was the one from Predator Requiem. Aliens versus Predator Requiem. I think that's what it was called, right? Um, but I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure it said Predator 2. Everything I've read, even on the wiki, or wikis plural, they say this guy was in Predator 2. I honestly, I can't tell you because as many times as I've watched Predator 2, I never really got all of the Predators that were at the end. I never really could figure out who was who. But anyway, they have a pretty cool design. NECA really did their thing with translating all the Predators for the most part from comic or film into action figure form. Paint job is beautiful. There's a gloss finish to the actual body parts that are not armored, so you kind of got that kind of glossy feel, that wet feel to their skin, just like they had in the movie. The armor bits are kind of matte finish most of the time, so they look worn, and the paint is applied accordingly. And then the lights are always painted very vibrantly. They apply just enough to give you the effect that you need. Now, I did have problems with the one other Predator I bought, which was the Enforcer Predator. You saw that in my Rhino video, my Marvel Select Rhino video. He just fell apart. But I plan on rebuying one, probably online. Hopefully we won't have the same problems. And then you guys will see, in a review, how good that one stacks up. I always wanted a Predator figure, and I couldn't really decide which one I wanted. What I want to do now when I collect these is collect a couple of them and have like one or two that are, not part of the regular battle, and then have others that, showed up on Earth to, kill, to hunt. I'm really excited that NECA got the rights to the AVP Predators, so we'll get those three from Aliens vs. Predator. I can't wait for those because they had some really good designs, even though the movie was trash. But as you can see on this guy, detail, detail, detail. I'm telling you, this doesn't even look like a figure that you should be able to buy at retail. It's so much detail on this guy. I mean, like, there's all these there's multiple washes, multiple layers of paint to give you several types of gradation. The armor, it's painted one way, but then it's got overlays to make it do different, give different effects. Especially like the blues and blacks on the sheath and definitely on the helmet. It's just, I don't know, it's like kind of a metallic, like prismatic or pearlescent kind of, like when light hits it the right way, you can kind of see beads of shine or whatever in there. I don't know, it's nice. There's all the bone colors going throughout the back, underneath the shoulder cannon. It's just detail, man. I can't stress enough how much NECA has the game on lock with the amount of detail and paint variation to accentuate all that detail. It just shows you they're light years ahead of the rest of the the combatants in this quote unquote war. For who's making the best shit as far as toys go in America, at least. I don't know, man. It's hard to elaborate on this figure because, I mean, the pictures kind of speak for themselves. Like every inch of him is sculpted like crazy. and then every inch of him is painted like crazy. I was impressed at little things, you know, like I'm taking a picture of the back, and there's a lot of, you know, information to catch on the back. That's why I'm focusing on it. I mean, I'm right now we're looking at the lower portion of the back. And there's a lot of color, just so many different colors, greens and browns and grays. Then in the hair, all this detail, and you see they actually painted the little connector pieces or bands or beads in his hair. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, and the paint goes all the way around, and it's not sloppy. How the hell did they pull that off? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Look at the red dots. There's red and blue dots in the light portions of his skin, on the back of his arm. It's all over. The red dots are all over, but, you know, something that small, you don't get this on most figures, you know? Look at the little silver bits on his belt piece. It's just like, what? You know, and then when you get closer, you see that red reptilian kind of texture on his skin, the red dots, the little dark brown ones, and the... It's just crazy. This is what puts NECA above all the other American companies, because nobody does this. They all cry poverty and try to tell you, oh, you can't do this because it's so expensive to use cheap plastics to make action figures, you know? And then there's fans that believe this shit, you know? Don't believe the hype, man. I keep telling you. I keep on saying it. PVCs and ABS, they're like the cheapest plastics you can use. So, you know, when you see what NECA's doing, and now that their build quality has become a lot better than it was earlier, it's kind of nice to see them kind of flex their muscles when it comes to this stuff. So, I don't know, props to them for that. Look at the texture on the visor. That's just insane. Insane. Now, I love this toy's proportions because it looks like the proportions from the film. This you guys have probably seen a bunch of times because it's in my intro, but I was just geeked to see him up against Batman. You know, when I was a kid, I had a I think my brother had a Terminator, so, you know, we've always wanted a Predator also, and I still have RoboCop and stuff like that. And now I've got Arnold and Stallone, and I've got a Predator. I'm gonna try and get a bunch more just to see what happens. It's just NECA knows their shit, man. I mean, having a Predator and Arnie in figure form is just like, it's just pure geekdom right there. You know what I mean? You just look at them, it's like, holy shit, I could actually play out, you know, my own version of Predator with these guys kind of immortalized, you know? It's just fucking dope. I'm going to be looking for more of these guys. I've been looking, it's just, you know, certain ones just don't really suit my fancy, so I was trying to kind of be discriminatory about which ones I pick. And then, you know, of course, the Enforcer one did, but he didn't quite make it, just be, you know, out of the package. So we're going to try again, and then I'm going to give you some more insight on how this line works. And I know a lot of people have been really hardcore into it, and I can see why, especially owning this guy. It's like really obvious why people love this line. The glaive. This glaive is a little different from the glaives they typically have. It's not a disc. This is more like the AVP ones. This is why I thought this was the one from Requiem. And I could be wrong still, but looking at the way the gear is designed, it feels more like that, you know, after AVP kind of design, because they didn't have that design in the previous ones, as far as I know. I'll go back and watch the movies and, you know, find out. But it's masterfully sculpted and even more masterfully painted. Feels like it just came right out of the film. It's beautiful. This is what I like about getting movie accurate figures from a company that specializes in movie accurate 6-inch or 7-inch, 6 to 7-inch scale figures. I mean, that's where it's at for movie buffs, you know. The shoulder cannon, it folds up really nicely. You have to be careful with these because sometimes the paint sticks, and for some reason they chose to make the shoulder cannon out of the same kind of brittle plastic that the weapons are made out of. Well, the glaive and some of the staffs. So you got to make sure you bend it the right way, because if you don't follow the articulation, if you fuck up, you're going to break it, and that's not going to be fun. Granted, it probably will be easy to fix because it's extremely light, but it will be a pain, you know what I mean? And this doesn't fold out in as many pieces as some of the other ones do. Like the other ones kind of have like a double arm. This one just has the one swivel, it feels like, and that's it. And it looks kind of weird in comparison to the others. That's kind of why I'm still on the fence if this guy was actually in Predator 2 or if he was in one of the later ones. His design just looks so, you know, it just looks too modern. Almost like they I don't know. I don't know for sure. You know, maybe I'll take that out of the intro. I already have on the title card Predator 2 because that's what it said on the box, but I'm going to stay away from that. I'm just going to put the name of the Predator on there. But anyway, the arm is just really simple. The sword, this is the reason why I picked him up. The sword and the sheath, that's just a dope design. Strangely enough, though, when I picked this guy up and put the sword in the sheath, you'll notice that the sheath doesn't actually hold the sword in place. When he's standing up straight, it does, but it just kind of wobbles around in there. You know, like if you turn it upside down, it's gonna fall. But the sword itself is very well detailed, well painted with the black and red blade. I imagine that the blade is vibrating the same way that the glaive would vibrate. It's just a well done piece of work. I mean, it's a simple design. I mean, it's almost like a katana, but the paint job, some of the design work on there, there's some nice line work going on the inside. It's nice, and it's different from what you see with the normal Predators. You know, they usually come with those staffs or the wrist blades. So for him to actually have a sword is kind of nice, you know? It's a nice change of pace. Yes, I know so many things have swords, from anime, from video games, from whatever, but I like this. You know, I picture this Predator being one to kind of fight against this whole going to other, you know, planets and hunting people. He seems like one that would actually fight against his own kind, in my eyes, you know? I'm not a huge, like, nut about Predator. I just love the first movie, and I love the second one, too, actually. I'm waiting for my Mike Harrigan figure. I'm like, you know, come on, you did Arnold, you did all the different Predators. Let's get some of the humans in there, you know? You look at the grip. The grip has really nice detail, and I love how he has a hand specifically made to grip this sword. You know, it looks so good. The longer fingers and everything, and it just works. It's not very hard to get the sword in there, and the sword doesn't fall out once it's in there. So, you know, posing him is really easy. He's all ball joints for the most part, with the exception of his knees and his elbows. The knees and elbows are exactly like Arnold's knees and elbows, you know, with the swivels at the, you know, top of the knee and at the base of the bicep. But I love the design of this figure. I love the articulation. I love how simple it is to play with this thing. You know, it just feels like somebody was paying attention and they engineered a good figure with an amazing sculpt and amazing accessories. So, you know, if you're looking for this sort of thing and you're into Predator, this is definitely a good one to pick up. I don't know how accurate he is to any of the movies because, like I said, Requiem was dark as fuck, so I can't really tell what the hell the Predator looked like in that one. And as far as Predator 2, at the end, there was a gang of Predators, and most of them didn't do anything except turn around and walk away, and, you know, cloak and walk away. So you only see them for a very, you know, brief period, so it's kind of hard to say who's who. But if that doesn't bother you, pick this guy up. You know what I mean? If you don't care where he came from and you just like the design, pick the guy up. He's worth it. You can still find him on Amazon. You definitely can find these guys on eBay. And that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is a dope figure. I'm Strident. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys dug my review. If you got questions, things to add, you want to tell me where he came from, hit me up in the comments. And that's it for me. You've been great. Peace outside.